Enemies of free speech targeting Dr. Jordan Peterson once again. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Whether you agree with Dr. Jordan Peterson or disagree with him, whether you love him or hate him, shouldn't he be entitled to free speech in this country? It's guaranteed in our charter, but some people are looking to once again target Dr. Peterson and stop him from speaking in public, and they want to use the government or a government agency to do it. We've already talked about the issue of the College of Psychologists of Ontario trying to tell Peterson he has to undergo re-education training or lose his license as a psychologist for things he said on Twitter, things that have nothing to do with the practice of psychology. That's what started the investigation. Now, a coalition of groups is asking Ottawa City Council to vote with them to say that Peterson should be banned from speaking in that city on January 30th. Peterson is on part of a book tour for his latest book called Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life, and he's scheduled to speak at the Canadian Tire Centre. This is a privately owned arena. One of the arguments that they're using is Peterson appearing there would go against the NHL's equity and inclusion policy. Therefore, he should be shut down. But listen to what the coalition also says, according to this story from the Ottawa Sun. As we approach the one-year anniversary of the so-called Freedom Convoy, the last thing we need in our city is a spokesperson of the far right taking center stage in our city. That, according to Jamie Sadgrove, manager of communication and advocacy for the Canadian Centre for Gender and Sexual Diversity. It's one of many groups that have signed on to this letter calling for Peterson to be banned, to stop him from speaking in Ottawa. Why allow a Canadian to speak? Why allow an internationally acclaimed author to speak when you can just shut him down and try and use the government's powers to do so? Thankfully, they don't have powers over the Canadian Tire Centre, which is still owned by the Melnick family after the passing of Senator's owner Eugene Melnick. We'll see what they do there, but hopefully they stand firm and say, no, you can't bully us into who can and can't speak. I want to give you an idea of who else is on this list. Other signatories include the Council of Canadians, Horizon Ottawa, which is a left-wing advocacy group, the Centretown Community Health Centre, the Ottawa Coalition to End Violence Against Women, and the Ottawa Historical Fencing Society. I guess he offends fencers? I'm not quite sure. Look, Peterson is not everyone's cup of tea, and you don't have to agree with everything he says to realize that this is a dangerous path to go down. He's going to be speaking about his new book, and let me just bring up some of the chapters of his new book. Okay, Rule 1, do not carelessly denigrate social institutions or creative achievement. Rule 2, imagine who you could be, and then aim single-mindedly at that. Rule 3, do not hide unwanted things in the fog. Rule 4, notice that opportunity lurks where responsibility has been advocated. These are pieces of advice for living a fulfilling life. There's nothing far right about it, and I would actually reject the idea that Jordan Peterson is part of the far right. This is just a tag that they want to put on him to denigrate him, to say that he has unacceptable views. Unacceptable views. Where have we heard that before? This is a ridiculous situation playing out in the nation's capital, one that we should be speaking out against, just like we should speak out against the College of Psychologists of Ontario ordering him into re-education training. This is a slippery slope that we're on, and one that if we don't stand against, will just become a full-out drop-down water slide that will take out anyone who steps outside of what is considered politically accepted, politically correct speech. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.